everyone, welcome back. It's Kasha Gage. Happy holidays. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a walkthrough of where I'm at for my December daily this year and just explain a few things as far as my process or some story ideas because I had gotten a lot of questions when I had shared a little bit of what I'd been working on Instagram. So I'm going to kind of just jump in here. I'm doing 10 by 8 album again this year. It's a green stripe one. At this time, I don't have any plans to process videos for every video, or excuse me, every story. I'm not sure if I will share the total album either. Last year, I decided not to. Part of that's just to keep some things private, right? Especially in regards to my daughter. I know I do share some on Instagram or photos that I am taking of her, but there's something, I don't know, just keeping some things for yourself, if that makes sense. And this year does feel a little bit more tender. In case you guys aren't aware, and again, I've shared this also on social, but my mother passed on Halloween. So I imagine this is going to show up quite a bit in this album, and I do have a couple of things for that. So before we even dive in here, I'll just explain to you guys. So part of my process, I always go through old supplies and sort out. I got rid of a huge box this year, and I'm going to have another huge box to get rid of again. Feels good to purge, right? To let stuff go. So I go through old supplies. I look through all my past albums. Are there stories I want to tell? This is my 7th year, so maybe there's a story I'd like to revisit. Having some time passed, maybe there's a layout I want to try to scrap lift up myself. So I make that. And then once I get the product, I immediately pull out stuff that I love that's kind of like an absolute use. And then, also same thing, get like a donut sell pile. So here's a list, and this is just kind of writing things down, and I'm sure I had some other ones, but what stories do I potentially want to tell? Joy, gratitude, those are ones that get told year over year, right? A real tree, a fake tree, or something about them. Usually do something with my wrapping paper, books, or book club. So you can see I kind of have a running list over here. And then a bunch of activities like the boat parade, the light maze, Catalina, ornament party, Disney. So there's a bunch of things, and I don't plan to tell every story. And these aren't necessarily even some of just the day-to-day, right? Around the house or a day in the life. My in-laws are coming from France. So there's a lot of things, and some will make it into this album and some will go into my project life. And also for me, I am not a stickler as far as what happened on the first has to be told on the first, or you have to use all the photos. Especially as a photographer, I take lots of photos before December or even throughout December, and those are definitely story-based. Some of them are, I guess you could say event-based, but story-based, so those can pair well with some of the stories. So let's just kind of dive in here. Some of the supplies are from Allie Edwards. I did get a few Heidi Swap this year because I am really leaning hard into pink. Wait till you guys see our real tree. It ended up being a lot of pink. Just feeling a mix. I've pulled out old crate paper that I had. Was this like the Very Merry collection? I think I have a ton of this, and I am absolutely loving that this year. I don't know, just really loving some of the colors. I don't know. Maybe, again, it's because of the loss of my mom. I feel like I just maybe need a deviation from my classic Christmas or some of the traditional, or just looking for little ways, I guess, to bring joy into my life. So I went ahead. I did my reason why in this shaker that Allie had made. So scraplifting, making it your own. Definitely different for me since I normally, sorry, my dogs are intense right now. Since I normally do my reason why on one of the photos, but I did include my opening full page photos like you've seen in years past. So spoiler, this is part of some of my Christmas card photos. I just ended up changing the crop because both of these were vertical, but I'm completely fine with that for making them a horizontal. And then a table of contents. I don't know if I'm going to handwrite or use sticker paper. We'll see as the month progresses. So again, opening up with some of this, that wreath page, some precursor photos. So this is decorating the tree, how the tree looked, behind the scenes of me capturing our Christmas card photos. Doing that Santa transparency. So this is opening, this is story one. What I planned is the visit to Santa. We already had that. You can see I tried a different number, or the number I put into my sewing machine. What it stitched was not what it was actually supposed to be. So that's a little chaotic for me, but oh well, we're going to leave it. I wasn't going to pull it apart. And then I think what I might use is like sticker paper for the photo. I'm not sure yet. Some of these decisions where I have a lot of stuff set up or stuff pulled until I get there as a final, maybe put Hey Santa there and then put the photo with sticker paper on the back, or just put the photo here. I'm not sure. So all about holiday drinks for me, for Starbucks. I think it was last year I had shared a page, like my collection of red cups. So this is going on for like maybe 8 years, but Starbucks always seems to make a way in. Then like I have a story planned for our elf. We're doing an elf this year, so that's exciting. Already set up some of these pages. So definitely putting in the time I've been putting in the time the month of November, since I will have a lot less time in December, or it just, those with little ones, you definitely know how that is. I plan to write a letter to my mother, or just a reflection, kind of. So I tried this out. I first did this, cut it with silhouette. I wish I had 5 more minutes, so story 5. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put a notch in there and it flips, if it'll flip up, if there could be a photo. I've also have more of this ribbon, and I was kind of liking the look of that to add a little bit something. I use, what is it called? Stickles, maybe? I like how it added the sequins and that little bit of, shine to it. I don't know if I love the texture, so I don't know if I'll keep this. I probably should just keep it, right? For story 6, I'm planning all about book club, my love of books. So this again cut with the silhouette. I set this up, I think in Photoshop first. And then here you can see what it looks like with some of the books. Same thing, I use that, the stickles. I'm not sure I like that. So I might just try a different paper, like, I don't know, even something like this would be fun. Or I don't know if I like it the long way, but no, that's too much. I'm not a fan of the candy canes, but something like this maybe, and put For the Love behind it. Ooh, that might be kind of cool, talking this out loud. Maybe I could cut it like this and then put the For the Love. Sorry about the dogs, y'all. It might take me a while to get through this video between the dogs and the baby. But I think I'm planning on pairing it with this. I'm hosting book club this year. So we do a My Favorite Things. That'll be fun. I was thinking of doing some of the food or us, or what the favorite things are, the presents. That will be a good. I'm not a fan of these lines, but that's simple enough to cover up with photos or journaling or something. 7 Swans of Swimming. Not sure what we'll do here. I have an insert planned for 8. And then I'm not sure where this will go. I think this is going to go, which side it'll go, but in this season. So a story 9. And then same thing, I shared this on Instagram. I'll have to link her below, the lady that does a lot of embroidery and she has patterns. And she had a photo of like these joy spelled out on 3 different ornaments. And so I ended up buying the pattern and I laid it out then in Photoshop and printed this out on canvas paper and embroidered. This is pretty fun. I haven't hand embroidered like this, I think, since I was a kid. I still haven't put the little beads on yet because I was also considering adding, doing French knots instead. So we'll see. But I was thinking this could be the top and then a photo down here, or journaling. Not sure, but we'll see. So that's where stuff up through like story 10, I feel like is really kind of planned. And the rest stuff is just kind of lingering. Like I have an idea for frames. I have our Christmas card tucked in, and this is where I was talking about. Let me see if I can pull this out, like pulling out some of that from crepe paper. Man, I wish they had another Christmas collection. I sure miss them, but think that'll be kind of cute. And maybe the number goes up there, or maybe he's, you know, tucked in right there, and the number on top. But I thought that was super, super cute. So stuff like that. I already went ahead and took photos of things. Definitely recommend it. Gather all your things. That's a pro tip. Gather all your things and batch photos when you can. So I took photos of the wrapping paper, of the new ornaments, of the advent calendars. I find, again, this is what works for me, is to have that done. And then it's a little bit easier when in December when you're doing this. So obviously there'll be a page with wrapping paper, one for the advent calendar. I have the anthropology one this year. And let me zoom in. Can you see that? So there was text on this box, and in Photoshop, I just ended up erasing the text and had the background color it. So same thing, some of that. Here are a bunch of new wreaths that we bought, or excuse me, ornaments, and just lay them out for a wreath. I don't know if I will keep it like this. I feel like I need to recenter it. Or maybe it would go on better on this side then. So I don't know if I'm going to want to add text on here. I could probably always do, like, I forgot about this. There's this guy. This is from the Star Mini Kit. Granted, it's a star. I don't know if I like the star plus the bow, but I mean, that would be cute. I could always recut something in a different color paper rather than the craft paper, but that would be kind of cute right there too. I would like a circle, but I don't know what I have for circles, so we shall see. For the Santa letters, I feel like, I don't know if these were supposed to be these die cut pages or prompt pages, whatever they were, the die cut inserts. I don't know if they were supposed to be this small. Like, I have one sitting back here and it's like only 6 inches wide. So I feel like it wasn't supposed to be that small. So this just feels a little small to me, but I was contemplating making this bigger, but then let's see here. So doing a pocket, right? And then I printed these out very small, these using the digital, those Santa letters. So tucking them in. So each one for the 3 of us, and I'll put a photo of us on the back, like each one of us, and then doing something like that. That's kind of where I'm thinking at the moment. Sometimes it helps just having partial decisions made, right? So other things I have pulled out. So this is from the highs and lows kit, thinking that would be good, right? Documenting the highs, lows. Could possibly even put some vellum to hide the journaling on top, you know, pair it with a transparency or a photo or some pattern paper. But I do kind of like the idea that it's a little bit hidden, so we shall see. Or, you know, just create a pocket where it pulls up. So something like that maybe. You know, these, what are they considered, labels? But even same thing, considering something, you know, maybe just putting them all together. That could be cute, and cutting out like a couple of those too. I'm not sure. But like I said, it helps having some decisions made and having some story ideas kind of even planned out, at least for me personally. I do plan to tell a story of Christmas past or Christmas as a kid, and this is the paper I'm planning for that. And then just like these, you know, I kind of liked how this looked together with, what is this? I have this bell. This pattern is really not normally me, but I think it might be cute just to add a pinch of like gold. Just got to find where to put it down, lay it down. But, you know, so put something like that maybe with the number, and then some journaling on the back. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I think what I would want to do for me personally, like I'd have to cut the back side of this out, which is simple enough to do. But I think I would like, obviously, like a photo, like a full photo to be underneath that for the peekaboo. Thinking about maybe using the matchbook. Thought that could be good for like one of the events that we have, just to include, it's a way to include several photos, even though they would be like small photos, right? What is there? 1, 2, there are 3. So, you know, could always have figure out something with that. And that's kind of where we're a little bit at. Thinking maybe this is the one I was saying was only 6 inches wide, but could cut out that shape. So just some things that are pulled, you know, the Santa, traditions, stuff for a couple of the transparencies. We'll see, you know. I have some of this stuff tucked in as well. Not sure if I will use these, but you never know, right? You never know. Same thing, stuff that I also already have setting aside, like this came from a package product, some stuff I had ordered from the company Bonjour Fete. I really, really, really love their tissue paper and thought that could be cute to cut in. And I would put this in a transparency, but does it have to be anything? No. It could also be a great way to give space in the album and take a breather before adding or putting in something else. So that is a look at where I'm at. It's a little chaotic around here. My dining room table is completely covered. Like I said, I'm hosting, so I do have to move everything eventually, at least in the next couple of days. But I'm excited. I'm really excited this year. I love where I'm starting. I have a lot of things done, which I think is going to make it especially easier with my little one. And one other thing I'll share, since we're doing the elf, I went ahead and made these cards up. So there was something I found on Adobe Stock. It was similar. It had some other things on it, and I just removed those in Illustrator, but then printed these out. These are 4x6. So the elf's note will go on these every night. And in Heidi Swap's collection this year, how cute, right? Okay, so if you guys have been around for a while, you know Henry loves to bark. Margot too. Sorry about that. So anyway, I thought this would be cute. So you can just rip it, right? But it looks like the postage stamp. Let me get some of that. And it's a great way because I wouldn't normally use this, but I thought this will be super fun, right? Like that. And I think what I want to do at the very end of the album is I will take all of these cards and I will lay them all out on the floor or something. I'll probably have to use like my 14mm lens, but try to take a photo of all of that. So I think that's a fun way to capture all of the elf's notes from this year. So we shall see. All right, y'all, that is it. I wish you a very merry season. Happy holidays to everyone who celebrates and however it looks. And of course, I'm here to answer any questions. You want to run anything by me, inspiration, anything, you can find me here. Leave those comments here on YouTube, or you can send me a message over on Instagram. All right, take care, everybody.